Happy New Year and welcome to the Tuesday edition of Video Clips. And I've had a good 2.5 weeks of rest and we're all fired up and ready to go for the new year here at the Wellness Forum. And just a few announcements I want to give you. First of all, winter semester at the Wellness Forum Institute starts in a couple of weeks and we have some great offerings. Chemistry, biology, women's health, microbiology, autoimmune diseases, dietary supplements, food preparation, scope of practice, and abnormal psychology. So that's a whole mouthful. If you want more information on this, just send me an email at pampopper@msn.com or call the office. You can take one class, or if you're interested in doing the whole program to become a well-trained nutrition professional, I think we have the best program in the country, actually. I've looked at about all of them. I still think we have the best program in the country. So anyway, that's the first thing that's going on. The second thing is if you're looking for a career in plant-based nutrition and health, we are going to have our next facilitator training school in February. So we'll be accepting applications until January 31st. The application process is sort of involved, so you don't want to wait till the last minute to do this. So if you are interested in looking at the licensing agreement, the training schedule, all the things that you have to do to apply and what you'll be committing to, again, send me an email and I'll be happy to forward the material to you. One of the great benefits of all of this is you get to represent the Wellness Forum and use all of our programs in your local areas. So if you're interested in making a difference and making a profit, this might be for you. Now, if you're a member watching this and you were at our Wellness Forum Fall Conference, you already know this already, but just to remind everybody and to talk to our new people here, we instituted a program called Wellness Forum Rewards, and this allows people to get benefits ranging from free merchandise to half-price tickets to conference, etc., for bringing in members, doing foundation projects, community projects, etc., etc. So all this will be in the newsletter that went out yesterday, but if you're not a newsletter subscriber or you don't read it regularly, again, if any of this stuff is interesting, let me know. And I won't read all this to you. It's just way too involved for this. But just want you to know that if you're a member, you can get some goodies if you help us notify the world about plant-based nutrition and health. And then want to remind you the extended interviews DVD for Forks Over Knives is available. You can get it through us or on Amazon. And last but not least, if you are a public or private school teacher who is interested in introducing plant-based nutrition in your classroom, our next introduction to plant-based nutrition is on Thursday, January 31st at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's a 2-hour class and all teachers who complete it will get free age-appropriate curriculum materials to use in their classroom. So if you want information on any of those things I just rattled off, pampopper@msn.com, or if you're interested in the foundation workshop, I'll refer you to another email address for that. But let's just use mine to keep things simple for now. Okay, 2 things I want to cover. First of the year broadcast here. One is I've noticed a little bit of a disturbing pattern, particularly among younger people and people who aren't yet seriously ill. And it is that these people, many of whom are overweight, some of whom are obese and or being treated for conditions ranging from high cholesterol to infertility to diabetes, etc., insist that they're practicing healthy habits. So what brought it to mind, I think, is during this past holiday season, I tried to be very quiet while people who were bloated and had gray skin, were overweight and visibly unhealthy, consumed 3 to 4 alcoholic beverages and meals that include fried food, dairy, and high-fat desserts, tell me that they were really doing much better in terms of diet and health. And sometimes I just work really hard not to say what I want to say. And one told me while sloshing through the 4th alcoholic beverage in about an hour how much she was enjoying the Forks Over Knives cookbook. One actually said between mouthfuls of fried food that I would be very proud of the health-promoting diet she's adopted. So anyway, unfortunately, this delusional thinking is common, and a recent study conducted by the American Stroke Association confirms it. According to this survey, 80% of young Americans believe they're practicing healthy habits. Most of those surveyed stated they wanted to live long and healthy lives, but fully 1/3 of them didn't think that adopting healthier behaviors would reduce their risk of stroke. So it makes you wonder, what do they think is responsible for reducing your risk of stroke? Magic or some type of just good luck that happens to some people? I don't know. Well, this study and my recent experience just highlights the disconnect between what people are thinking and what is actually happening to them. And so just a little bit about the survey. There were 1,248 people included. They ranged in age from 18 to 44. 21% of young women and 31% of young men were likely to eat fast food, and only a third reported that they were likely to eat the recommended numbers of servings of fruits and vegetables daily. My gosh, it's so low. What is it, like 10 to 14 right now? And it's amazing that so few people think that they can do that. Only 40% engaged in regular physical activity, and less than half were likely to achieve or maintain optimal weight. The researchers reported that people do become more aware of health and risk factors for heart disease and stroke as they get older, but by the time they get the connection, many of them are already overweight and or sick. And that's the problem that I've noticed. I mean, I sometimes get a little sarcastic when I'm talking about these things, and I guess I shouldn't do that, but the real serious part of this is that while people are deluding themselves into thinking that you can be 50 pounds overweight, constipated, and be on 3 medications and in and out of doctor's office with symptoms all the time and be okay, what happens is by the time these people often put the connection together that something is seriously wrong, they can't always recover from it so quickly. So, if I could invent some type of magic pill, I would invent one that would just resolve this disconnect in the brain that keeps people from doing the things that they need to do in order to be healthy. So anyway, if you're one of those people who's sort of trying to skate the issue of taking good care of yourself, let this be your wake-up call, and let's make it our commitment this year to get this message to more and more people and prevent bad things from happening. I mean, I love when people come to the Wellness Forum and they're sick and we can help them, but what I would really love is if more and more people would come to the Wellness Forum healthy, and we could just focus on how about staying that way instead of letting something bad happen. So anyhow, let's go on to the second thing I wanted to cover, and this is an issue that has caused so much confusion. I get emails about this every day, and it happens to do with this multivitamins and cancer study that has gotten a lot of headlines, and you may notice certain vitamin companies are advertising this on TV. They're using this study and saying, oh, a recent study shows that multivitamins reduce your risk of cancer, and so you should take multivitamins, and this is the brand that they use. I won't mention it here because I don't want to promote the company actually, but in any case, the dietary supplement industry is claimed to win, and the study they tout shows that taking multivitamins reduces the risk of cancer by 8%. Not really. I'll get to that in a second. But there are a couple things to start with. One is I caution people all the time about not getting all carried away with the latest study or a single study, because what we really want to pay attention to is the preponderance of the evidence. In other words, you can find a study to support anything these days, including that smoking is okay, but the vast majority of studies show that it isn't, and the vast majority of studies shows that these vitamin pills are useless and many of them harmful. But this study itself has limitations if you read it carefully, and unfortunately most people don't, and I totally understand that. I mean, I'm in the business of reading this stuff every day. We expect me to do it, but if you're a CPA preparing somebody's tax return today, maybe you don't take all kinds of time to do this. So anyway, that's my job. That's why you're watching this, right? The data was taken from the Physicians' Health Study 2, which is the first large-scale, randomized, placebo-controlled study that evaluated the effect of a multivitamin rather than a single or 2 or 3 vitamins or nutrients on cancer prevention. And the participants were male physicians who were 50 years old or older. And the study did exclude men that had serious illnesses, but men with a history of cancer or cardiovascular disease were included. There were a total of 14,640 men who were part of this study. 80% of them didn't take any other vitamins except the multivitamin pill that was assigned in the study. Now, during the study, 2,669 cases of cancer were diagnosed with 859 deaths. The rate of incidence cancer for people in the multivitamin group was 17.0 per 1,000 person years. In the non-multivitamin group or placebo group, it was 18.3 cases per 1,000 person years. Barely reaches statistical significance. And the reductions in risk were not significant for colon, rectal, lung, and bladder cancer. The use of multivitamins didn't result in reduction in deaths from cancer or all-cause mortality. So there was a slight reduction in incidence, but no reduction in the death rate or from death from all other causes. So the only reason why this is getting so much much attention is because the vitamin industry has brought so much attention to it. Of course, they've sent out news releases, and one vitamin company, I already mentioned it, is using it in their ads and that sort of thing. So if you put the advertising hype aside, there's really nothing in this study that warrants discussion, and the claims being made about the results border on false advertising. If you want to reduce your risk of cancer or any other disease, you have to pay attention to diet and lifestyle factors such as dairy and animal food consumption, dietary fat, smoking, obesity, physical activity. The hype over this virtually meaningless study really prevents people from paying attention to the things that really do matter for reducing the risk of cancer and dying from all other causes. But the supplement companies and the alternative practitioners can be counted on to capitalize on the fact that most people won't get this kind of information and are looking for a magic pill that will improve their health. Schemes that promise health with minimal investment are fraudulent, but they continue to be attractive to a lot of people. But remember this, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. So that's it for today. I'll be back to you on Thursday to discuss a couple of other research studies I think you should be aware of. Please, as always, feel free to pass this on to anyone who you think would benefit from listening to it. Have a great day.